Today we are going to be showing you how to do a beans and greens recipe with Mallika Basu. There are so many different benefits, not just for your microbes, which are the population of different bugs, bacteria, fungi, nematodes, viruses as well that live in your gut, and beans are absolutely their favorite food, but also for your heart health as well. And actually a collection of observational studies showed that if you have around 130 grams of beans in your diet every single day, you can reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease by 10%. Other thing that we want to try and get 1 to 2 portions of every single day are greens. We've got so many different types of greens out there, full of magnesium, vitamin K, folate, and all these things are fantastic for calcium absorption around the body that again reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, but they're also fantastic at memory and improving your cognition. There was one prospective study that showed that just 2 portions of greens was enough to reduce the rate of cognitive decline, which was the equivalent of being 11 years younger. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to get 11 years extra length, but anything that you can do to improve your brain health is definitely a good thing. So beans and greens, you want those essentials in your diet. Doctor's Kitchen. Recipes, health, lifestyle.
So what we're going to do is, in a warm pan, get 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil going.
Gotcha.
This is on, yes.
Yeah.
So I've just whacked it up a bit.
Bit more, a bit less?
A little bit more, we could, it's okay. It's a lot of beans, Rupy. We've taken the hard stalks off the kale and washed it as well. So they're kind of ready prep, really easy to do. I tend to just give them a squish. When I find a hard stalk, I just remove it.
I love massaging kale.
It's so good, isn't it?
It is really good. Breaks it down, makes it easier to cook. You can even put it into a salad. Greens, full of vitamin K, folate, very good for you. Magnesium source. We need to eat more magnesium. This is a great way of getting it in.
Oh, well,
nice.
Is it a weed? Is that true?
I don't think it's a weed.
It vaguely tastes of grass, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Just be honest now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does. Yeah, it's grassy.
It is quite grassy. Good.
Strong.
I didn't think that was just me. Right. So when the oil is warm, we're just going to go in with the kale to soften it a bit. Entirely up to us how much kale we want to add. I like about 180, 200 grams to that size pot.
Okay.
Maybe
half this.
Let's go. Let's see. Yeah.
All right.
That should do it, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I reckon
so. We're just going to soften this up a little bit.
Okay. Any salt?
Add a little bit of salt. I tend to add salt later, and that's because these white beans, which I love, they cooked with a bit of salt.
Oh, okay.
And so you're almost better adding salt later with these ones.
Yeah, when you can sort of taste whether it needs more.
Exactly.
Yeah, good shout. And people get scared of like salt in their beans and stuff like that. Unless you're a salt sensitive hypertensive, honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about it because the amount of nutrition that you're getting in the magnesium and potassium rich kale, the beans that are going to be good for your microbes, that tiny bit of salt to add flavor to your food is not something you should be worried about. Where you want to be worried about salt is processed foods, your processed drinks, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of salt you want to be wary of.
That's really interesting intel actually, because I do worry that I eat too much salt. But salt is the ultimate flavoring, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is the best spice in the world,
Yeah,
let's be honest.
So would you call it spice?
I would.
That's interesting.
This is done, so that's softened enough now. It won't go much further. We're going to go in with the tomato puree. So we're adding essentially the wet ingredients to this now. So about 2 tablespoons worth. And we can wing it. 3 tablespoons won't hurt.
Okay.
We're just going to mix the kale in there, and we could go in with about 2 tablespoons of the harissa paste as well, please.
I think I'm just going to put the whole lot in.
Go for it. Let's not waste it.
Yeah. I know that's just kale and tomato puree, but for some reason it smells really good.
That's all the other ingredients having an effect for you there. Now we don't want this to burn, so I'm going to ask that we open up the organic white beans. So beans are a really interesting product, aren't they? These are also UK grown. So I don't know if you know, but beans were a very, very important part of the diet in Britain. And then as Britain got wealthier, they fell out of favor. And we basically became more of a nation of meat eaters. And that's quite a common trajectory. So as nations get wealthier, they incorporate more meat into their diets. because it's aspirational. Our beans mostly go to the Middle East for cattle feed. Yes.
Really?
Indeed they do.
Gosh.
The beans, not only nutritionally, they're also great for the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. Nitrogen fixing.
So exactly, nitrogen fixing, you know, carbon sequestering, and you know, great for crop cover. There's a lot of things going on. So basically, we need to eat lots of beans. So these ones I really like. The stock in here is actually delicious as well.
Because they cooked it with salt, right?
And we might need a spoon or a little knife to get these out. Why don't you go for it?
And there are so many different types of beans that we don't eat anymore, right? Like I've come across a number of different manufacturers and growers of beans, like Hodmedod's and obviously the Bowl Bean Company and stuff. And they're really trying to sort of like make beans fashionable, make beans great again. Someone might.
I like that. That's a good slogan. I hope they're listening. Let's go in with a bit of turmeric now.
Turmeric,
I love adding turmeric to anything with harissa. I think it just goes really well. You know, turmeric has that raw, astringent way about it. Harissa is really fresh.
How much?
And
Teaspoon?
chili, teaspoon's great. Thank you very much.
Gosh, this is good turmeric, isn't it?
It is very good turmeric. It smells incredible as well. And then a tablespoon of the tamari, and then we're just going to loosen that a bit with water, with hot water, when the tamari's gone in. So you can see why we didn't have the salt, because you've got the you know, saltiness.
Okay, and a bit of hot water.
And a little splash of hot water, and then we're just going to finish that with
oh, sorry, is that
the
too
brown
much?
sugar. No. Now, how much water you add is entirely up to you. It's just to loosen the beans. This particular brand of beans, I find it's quite thick. It tends to thicken as well as it sits around.
Oh, do you need the sugar, by the way?
Let's pop in the sugar, why not?
Okay. I describe these. Everyone needs to have some basic recipes that you can build on top of. So this is your basic, but you know, if you didn't have harissa, you could use, I don't know, gochujang.
100%.
Yeah.
You could use gochujang, you could use vegan naduya, works really nicely because it's red pepper.
Yeah.
You know, it's a red pepper paste. You could use actually Turkish red pepper paste, works really nice. But also adding other things in there, like if you have leftover, you know how you have little bags of herbs. People will buy herbs in big quantities and then it's just sitting around. You could chuck any old, slightly, you know, wilted herbs in there.
Adding a piece of fish or leftover chicken or another protein of choice. If you're vegan, you could use tempeh, for example. There are just so many different ways in which you can just use that base in multiple different ways.
I think we can taste this and check for salt.
Okay.
Are you happy with how runny it is? Do you need more water, or what do you think?
I quite like that. I like it sticky, so it's like sort of coats the spoon.
Super spicy?
No, not spicy at all.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Hey!
That's great. That's really good.
How about some black pepper?
Yeah, we can do
I
black
love
pepper.
adding black pepper to this now. Et voila.
Voila!
Gosh, that's spicy. You killed it with the harissa. It's delicious though.
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's got like a smokiness to it.
That's the harissa doing its job.
You know what? It reminds me of those smoky greens, pit beans that we got in the app. But we made it with Cajun. That's really similar.
Delicious,
Yeah. This is so good. So much better than baked beans.